podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Hello and welcome to episode 369 of Film Bastards. It's probably past Halloween by the time you listen to this, so never mind. The dog is not happy about my voice then at all. It's alright, Keeks. My name is Ian Loring. And yes, welcome to episode 369 of Film Bastards. As always, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
And Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
What a fucking discombobulated opening that was, folks. Ever so sorry, I completely lost my flow there.
It's still more coherent than most of mine.
Well, thank you, sir.
You've got morning, afternoon, and evening in the right order, so
I get them in the right order.
You get them in Mark's order.
Damn right I do.
Yeah.
Time.
Nice. Coming up on this week's show, we've got a few main reviews. It's been it's been a pretty fucking busy week. So we've got reviews of Borat Subsequent Moviefilm, Rebecca, and On the Rocks. So in any week that would be solid content. We'll also have some news. I'm sure we'll have some trailers. So what we've been watching. I see we got a couple of Twitter questions. So good stuff. Here comes the shilling. Patreon.com/filmbastards. $2 a month. You get longer shows, and we've also started Fincher Club, our look through the back catalogue Fincher, which we did not copy the Fincher Takes It All. It's kind of interesting, actually. Emily Murray, who's very, very nice, she did a podcast going through the Nolan films, Nolan Me, Nolan You.
Yeah.
We did Nolan chat. She's doing the Fincher Takes It All. We did the Fincher show. I didn't even know about Emily's show before we did the Nolan ones, and it was actually Mark's idea to do the Fincher ones, and I don't think Mark knew about that podcast either at that time. So no. So just in case anybody was wondering, because her podcast is free, we charge for hours. In the end of the day, we also have a weekly regular show. So maybe I'm just being a bit paranoid there, but I don't want people thinking I'm copying.
If we stole some idea, we'd shout about stealing it. We'd be like fucking Noel Gallagher in the middle of the fucking 90s saying every Oasis song is just ripped off from the Smiths and the Beatles.
Plus we have additional Ian playing games that scare him.
Yep. And me playing games that confuse me.
Yes.
That's true. Even though that's not on
character literally saying he's behind that. I'm gonna go over here. No, literally, he's down that alley. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Why is he down here?
Yeah, to be fair, that bit in Yakuza Kiwami is not very well signposted, but at the same time, I was inside shouting at you.
You have to outside shout, Ian. You have to put it all up there.
No, I was literally in bed watching you guys last night. That sounds really weird, but you know what I mean. And yeah, it was so the Yakuza project. So this is Mark's going to be doing some streaming of playing Yakuza. But I believe we're also going to come together and maybe do like a few chapters at a time as a podcast.
Can I just clarify, Ian, though? You are going to fucking finish Resident Evil, though, aren't you?
considering I am making Mark. Well, no, actually, I'm not making. The thing is, I'm not making Mark because I gave Mark an out this morning and he flat out rejected it. So, I'll think about it, Bex.
Please. It's so much fun to watch.
I don't think he has fun playing it though.
I don't.
I don't think he has fun playing it.
I don't have fun playing it. It's fucking nuts.
Does it genuinely scare you playing it?
Yeah. I don't like it.
Would you prefer it if I did it?
It wouldn't be as funny though, would it? That's the thing.
No.
I get that there's comedy value to it. And to be fair, I own Resident Evils 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. So
you need to be able to play some of these games to completion.
Yeah, I probably do. And then by then, Kojima's going to have whatever his horror project is out, which is going to be, right, fucking Hideo Kojima, who made PT, which was going to be the Silent Hills game, wanted to have it so you enter your phone number at the start of the game.
Happy to do that.
And then, it fucking real life interacts with you on your fucking phone.
Fine. Happy to do that.
But wasn't it literally not just whilst you're playing the game?
Yeah.
Like
it
would text you throughout the day and bits like that.
It just, I suppose a GDPR nightmare. But also, who would do it?
I would do it.
I think I'd have to buy a pay-as-you-go phone and then give it that number.
There was a thing about at one point he wanted to have it where they suggested instead of it being you give your number, it's an app you log into.
And then that notifies.
And then that notifies you. But he wanted to have it so it would play noise. Like basically, once you accept it, that's it. It was connected. You had to delete the app to get rid of it.
Nice.
But if you deleted it, it didn't pick up your saved content. But it would literally play bits of the in the middle of the night and things like that.
I want that Hideo Kojima, Guillermo del Toro, Norman Reedus fucking Silent Hill game. I want it so much.
It's not going to happen.
But I want
it. It's your Gladiator 2 for me, isn't it?
Yeah.
He so. It's not about films at all, but never mind. And all we talked about in the pre-show was video games as well. But his production company started advertising for vacancies for his new game a couple of weeks back, and the scuttlebutt is he is doing a horror game. There was also word before the PlayStation 5 showcase a few months back that basically Sony had bought the rights to Silent Hill off of Konami. So then it was like, could they actually swing it so that he does do Silent Hills? Because now Sony owns the IP, not Konami. But so whether 2 and 2 make 4 or 5, I don't know. But wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year we hear something there. And maybe it's not Silent Hills, but Kojima doing a horror game. Fuck
Hideo
that.
Kojima's quiet hillocks it's fine by me. Like a spin-off.
I don't know. Like I played a fair bit of Death Stranding in the week, and he's fucking bonkers. But that game, very very quickly, it being about a world where people are cut off from each other and you play essentially a delivery worker who has to try to connect bits of the country together, delivering supplies to people who are hunkered down and essentially refusing to come out. It's very, very fucking weird that he made that game and then this year happened. It's very odd.
You're saying that Hideo Kojima is a soothsayer?
It's weird because he said that it's a game about, wanting to bring people closer because they've never been further apart, kind of spiritually. but the fact that he made this game where they're really far apart physically, and you basically play a really heroic Amazon delivery man. I don't know. There's just something. I don't know. There's something about the whole key worker aspect of it, which I think is really interesting. But it's an interesting game. But I think I'm going to pause now and pick it up again when I've got a PlayStation 5, because that game looks really nice, and I want it to look nicer as I'm walking around it. But yeah, it's something. Anyway. There's no video game movie news. There an Assassin's Creed Netflix series is coming, apparently. But that's a Netflix series.
Some still to come out for the Resident Evil series as well, hasn't there?
Is that the CG one? Apparently. Yeah, that's really confusing, because you've got that. There's the Netflix TV adaptation, which isn't going to be a part of the canon. And then there's a new series of movies that are going to be based on the first game, but aren't going to be a part of the game canon either.
I just want all of it in my face.
It'll be all in your face soon enough, I think.
All of the Resident Evil stuff in my face.
But talking of movie game news, there have been two stills so far released from the Uncharted game.
God.
The long-awaited Uncharted. So we've had Tom Holland basically looking like he's face swapped with Drake from the game on an app he had in his pocket.
Yeah.
Like people going, oh my God, doesn't he look like Drake? It's like, yes, that's kind of what happens when you essentially cosplay Drake. And then Matt Wahlberg reminded everybody that he's playing Sully by showing him with essentially one of the worst fake tashes I've ever seen.
Massive.
I have embarrassment for this movie already.
I'm looking forward to it.
Massive fan of his comment under it, though, where it was, don't ask, just don't fucking ask.
It's almost like he's really tried to grow a moustache and then gone in and they've gone,
lol.
No, Mark. Have you played the game? And he's gone, what game?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Would it surprise you if the last games console that Mark Wahlberg owned was a stolen Sega Genesis?
No, it wouldn't. The thing is, people want to see a movie of the games. They don't want to see a movie of a imagined prequel to the fucking games. Make what people want. Don't make it with a fucking baby Nathan Drake and fucking Mark Wahlberg. Mark fucking Wahlberg as Sully. No.
Academy Award nominated Mark Wahlberg.
There are so many people that, even if you're taking it younger, there are so many people that would be better for Sully than Mark Wahlberg.
I disagree with you.
Our dog would be better at being Sully than Mark Wahlberg.
When I played Uncharted the first time, the first thing I thought was,
oh my God, he's like an old Mark Wahlberg. No, it isn't.
I did.
Shut the fuck up.
No, you didn't.
Idiot. You're being a fucking idiot right now.
I also thought, wouldn't Mark Wahlberg be great at playing Drake?
Wouldn't that baby Spider-Man boy be great as Nathan Drake? No, you didn't.
I didn't think that, no. I thought Mark Wahlberg would be great.
I mean, I kind of like the idea of them not actually adapting the games, because the games, it's a very standard thing to say, but those games are basically movies that you play. They're action movies that you play. So the idea that they're not actually going to be basing them on the stories of those, like if they ended the Uncharted film series with essentially leading up to the start of the first game, yeah, all right, then I could kind of go for that. But it does feel a bit pointless. I mean, to be fair, I'd say the HBO Last of Us series feels a bit pointless as well, because you've been through a season's worth of TV by the time you've like played through the first Last of Us, I think. You know, and I am determined to give Last of Us 2 another go again. I'm going to wait until PlayStation 5 for that. It's weird. I'm in such a limbo now where it's like I don't really want to start anything because I want to wait until I can play it on the PlayStation 5.
A little bit like both you and I got when you were starting going, oh, I want to watch that movie, but I think it's coming out on 4K soon.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So, I feel safe playing Yakuza Kiwami because I don't think that's going to get that much better on PlayStation 5. But I don't know. It feels. First off, it feels fucking weird that this is still supposed to be coming out in July next year when everything from this year is going to be coming out in the summer next year.
Yeah, I would think we could end up seeing that pushed back to sort of like a November, December.
Yeah, you give this a Christmas release. You give this like the Jumanji slot. Yeah, I think this could do all right.
I think it could be a bit of a hit. What? Riding high off Mark Wahlberg's Academy Award for Spencer Confidential.
I just think the casting's shite in it.
Oh, I disagree with you.
I think it's really, really disappointing. And the fact that they've gone with a young Nathan Drake. Just adapt the fucking game with the story that people already like.
No, because the game exists, you can play that story.
But not everyone plays games.
Well, then fuck those guys.
All right, dog. What do you want? Hiya, babe. What do you want? Right, Kiki. Kiki, what do you think about Mark Wahlberg in Uncharted?
Kiki fucking loves it.
Oh, no. She's walking away. She wants to know. Oh,
I like it.
She doesn't trust the microphone. I'll tell you what. When I was taking her for a walk yesterday, there was a brolly in a bin. And she was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, you do have opinions on Mark Wahlberg, do you?
She doesn't like it.
So you're not a fan either. You're not a fan either, are you? Are you? What's going on? She doesn't like the microphone.
She's on my side.
She doesn't like the microphone. Anyway, right. See you later. Love you. All right. Bye. So yeah, I mean, who the fuck else is in this film? I just want to have a look now.
There's so little about it kind of out there at the moment.
So Antonio Banderas is in it. I'm assuming he's the bad guy.
Of course he is.
But it's because it's been in so much. It's had that many directors. I forgot that Ruben Fleischer was now essentially directing it.
Yeah, there's nothing here, is there? And it's got Tom Holland. Fair play, man. He's not letting COVID get him down, is he? Like, he's just finished on Uncharted, and apparently now he's going to start filming Spider-Man 3 shortly.
Yep. I read an interesting thing with it. Somebody asked him recently about him working constantly and a lot, and his response to it was, "Not really." He said, "Because I get like a month off in between things often." He said, "And I get a couple of weeks off. What is it?" He said, "It's kind of like being at school." He said, "So I'll do like loads of work, and then I have like a month off. And I'll do loads of work, and I'll have like 2 weeks off." He said, and then the promotion stuff I really quite like at the moment. He said, I might not like it in 10 years' time. In fact, constantly Robert Downey Jr. used to tell me that I will hate it in 10 years' time. But I quite like it at the moment. It's pretty cool going to all these new places. And then he reminded people that he was in Billy Elliot at the West End. And was like, when I was in Billy Elliot, it was.
That's what?
It's Billy Elliot, yeah. He's a trained dancer. That's
he's a singy dancey boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen him do Rihanna?
I've seen that, yeah.
And
I haven't seen him do Rihanna.
I would it surprise you. She's a saucy girl.
She'd fucking eat him alive.
Yeah, no, she would. It'd be quite funny. Yeah, he was talking about the fact that he did Billy Elliot. When he was doing Billy Elliot, he was doing it like he was working a lot fucking more, a lot harder for that.
I mean, no, fair play to him. I do worry slightly that it might be a little bit that all his films are scheduled really closely to each other, and he has like 4 or 5 in the space of a year, and he gets a little bit like, fucking hell, give us a break. Like, Jennifer Lawrence, and I mean, like, it was the quirk of scheduling, but before she took that break, it felt like there was a Jennifer Lawrence film like once every 2 months for a year, or The Rock.
The Ryan Gosling one where he said he got sick of seeing himself on different billboards, when the billboard on the way to, I think, seeing his mum, he said over a year it had 3 different films of his back to back on it. Yeah. And he was like, like all the, like his mum and all her friends were joking with him, calling it the Ryan board.
And I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this is why I've kind of lost patience with The Rock, because all he fucking does, I've got to, like, seriously, I've got to fucking unfollow him on Instagram, because all he fucking does is either promote the movie he's got out that week, promote his fucking tequila brand, or promote his training gear.
I've unfollowed him on all socials.
The tequila thing has started to grate.
Like, it just, mate, like, I don't know, like, unless, what, are you going to go on some sort of presidential run in like 4 or 5 years or something? Like, are you trying to build yourself up business-wide so you can self-fund this shit? It's just, calm down. Like, everybody's going through a lot of shit at the moment, and the last thing I need is you fucking posting people drinking your tequila and talking about how great it is.
Yeah, that is quite annoying. What is it? The constant, I hate people drinking my tequila in bar places and talking about it. It just feels a little bit like, we get it. George Clooney bought a vodka or whatever it is brand, and then sold it for $500 million 5 years later. We get it.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds bought Aviation Gin and then sold it. Was it recently? Sold it for like a massive amount of money.
He's bought shares in it, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just sold like the bulk of the interest in it.
He's one who needs to be fucking careful as well. Even though it was interesting, because I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were saying that they thought that the reason why he's doing all this is because he knows in himself that he's probably actually not a movie star, and he's only got finite time that his stuff's gonna work. So make hay while the sun shines.
I think with Ryan Reynolds, I think one of it is all of his income that he gets, he gives a large amount of it to charitable funds and bits. And it's kind of like he's been working, and I think you could probably throw The Rock into this as well. These guys look a little bit at it like, right, I've been plugging away at this for 20 odd years, and right now I'm at the highest point I'm going to hit.
But they're going to ruin it.
Yeah, but ruin it and make a fuckload of money while you're doing it, because something's going to ruin it. What is it? It's very rare, incredibly rare.
Very rare that you get to be a Bill Murray.
That you get to be a Tom Cruise. Because they even tried with Tom Cruise to kind of wobble him a little bit. And it worked. He had a few bombs. And then he came back and went, do you know what? Instead of doing quite a lot, I'm literally just going to do a Mission Impossible movie and another movie. And then every 18 months, you're going to get a Tom Cruise movie and then a Mission Impossible movie. And then
just to remind everyone,
yeah, but I'm not going to do anything else but that.
Which, I mean,
a legend.
I mean, to be fair, in the late noughties, he did the couch jumping and whatnot, but he also was basically given United Artists. And then suddenly he was doing Lions for Lambs and Valkyrie and whatnot, and it just wasn't working for him. In fair play,
he was making films that Tom Cruise shouldn't be making.
Yeah, quite. And I mean, Lions for Lambs is fucking brutal. That film. It's, oh god, it's Robert Redford just fucking lecturing you for an hour and a half, and oh man. But yeah, it's like, and I'd like to see Tom Cruise do something serious, but at the same time, I also quite like seeing Tom Cruise push himself to the absolute fucking limit, just for, essentially to entertain people. There's nothing wrong with that. With Dwayne Johnson, it feels like he's, kind of pushing himself, but probably not as much as Tom Cruise, despite the just the fact that The Rock is younger and it's probably less exertion for him than the shit Tom Cruise puts himself through. But the reason why The Rock does it is because he wants to sell his brand. I don't get this. I don't get the sense with Tom Cruise that he wants to sell his brand, because aside from when he's doing like promotional stuff for his movies, you never fucking see him.
No, he's never been interested in kind of like the limelight. And I think when he did kind of put his head above the parapet a little bit, he got kind of criticised for being, you know, an enthusiastic guy. And plus, you know, there's the whole Scientology thing, which I agree with, but I think I've always had an issue with the way that people take issue with Scientology, because I have issues with Scientology, but it feels a little bit like there's people that you can criticise in terms of the Scientology, and Tom Cruise takes a lot of that criticism, whether it's right or not, is more up for debate. But then there's, you know, none of you shit to Beck about being a Scientologist, you know, or Giovanni Ribisi or people like this. You know, there's a bit of there's a lot of picking and choosing, you know. You know, Elizabeth Moss is currently everyone's indie darling favourite. No one ever mentions the fact that she's a Scientologist.
Oh, it does get mentioned.
Does it? But in the same negative connotations as let's say a Cruise.
No, I think it depends on what circles you read within.
Well, that's it. I'm not saying I agree with. I have little opinion about it. I think there's a lot of weird fucking celebrity religions out there that need fucking looking at. But I think you've got to judge people more on their actions rather than their beliefs. I've seen the Chris Pratt backlash.
Well,
no, I think the Chris Pratt backlash is justified, to be perfectly honest. He's part of a church that believes in conversion therapy for homosexuals and stuff like that, and he has advocated for that church on social media in the past, and he has to kind of...
Yeah, he has to take that.
He has to take his medicine.
He has also said that he doesn't agree with a lot of the practices within it, and you don't have to agree with everything within it.
Don't be part of it then.
I don't want to get into theology kind of what is it?
That's yeah.
Let's.
I mean, he is the worst Chris, yes, but
Yeah.
100% the worst Chris, and he's very, very, very lucky that he had both Jurassic World and Guardians of the Galaxy in such a short period, because otherwise he wouldn't be anywhere. And
Which is the reason that Thanos won. So
that, and Anna Faris is definitely better without him. Good on her.
Yeah, defo.
I could say a little bit with the whole Thanos thing if Thor hadn't been showing off for ages.
No, that bit on the planet where they nearly got his glove off, and then
that's fair enough. Yeah, but you know, Thor does show off a little bit with the fucking thing that he gets. It's like, why don't you just go kill Thanos straight away, you prick? Lambs for Lions, very quickly, right? Because I remember seeing this, but I haven't literally not thought about it until Ian just mentioned it a minute ago.
Green Lions for Lambs.
That's the one. That prick too. Robert Redford, Meryl Streep, Tom Cruise in a war drama, right? What should have set off massive alarm bells that this film was shite is the fact that it's 88 minutes long. You know, that movie, if you're explaining that movie to somebody, you'd be in your brain thinking, this is going to be like 2 and a bit hours long, and it's like 2 hours 15. It's going to be very dry. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to feel bad about everything. No, 88 minutes, and it's got Michael Pena in it.
You're always advocating for 90-minute movies, though.
That shouldn't be a 90-minute movie. War Inc. 90-minute movie. That shouldn't be a 90-minute movie. If that's a 90-minute movie, something's gone wrong.
Who's hosting, by the way? Because we're talking in circles.
Ian.
I've been trying to turn it to trailers for a bit, but it's fine.
Failing.
Trailers. Anyone seen any?
Yeah. Trailers. Yes. Stardust.
The wank dust, but not the good kind.
It's the origin of David Bowie film, not authorized by the estate, so don't expect any actual David Bowie in it.
Woo! Literally, it's almost like the estate said, right, you can have none of the music because we don't. David Bowie categorically did not want a movie making of his life, right? Categorically has stated dozens of times, right? So what do they do? Dad, make a movie of his life. It's almost like they've gone, right, you can't have any of the music, anything like that, you can't have any of the costumes or anything like that, anything we hold, or what is it? Even his image. You can't make him even look like fucking David Bowie, because he fucking doesn't.
Any David Bowie movie that comes out that isn't endorsed by Duncan Jones and the family and stuff like that can fuck right off. Sorry, no.
Also, it looks crap.
It looks tacky as fuck.
It does. It looks like it's gone. Like it's going for a cross between the Queen. What is it? Bohemian Rhapsody. What's called Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't it?
Gross, yeah.
And Rocketman.
Rocketman's good though.
Rocketman's good, yeah.
But then that had full backing of.
And it's not a straight up biopic. It's there's bits. It's done. It's framed as more of a musical rather than a musical biopic.
Which I think is fine to do. Like just getting.
If you've got the rights to the music.
Yeah, if you've got the rights to the music and you've got the backing of the person that it's actually portraying, then doing like a fantasy version is fine. Doing a fantasy version of it, a la Bohemian Rhapsody, when the person involved is dead and that you're basically going to change the entire story to make them look bad, is not okay. Doing whatever the fuck Stardust's trying to do is just disrespectful.
Even calling it Stardust feels a little bit wanky.
Yeah, there's already a film called Stardust. It's got Michelle Pfeiffer in it, so it's automatically better.
Again, it's like they went, right, we'll call it Starman, and the lawyers have gone, no, we're not. We're just not. Right, we're going to call it The Oddity, and they go, nope, can't use that word either. Like, can we call it the fucking Laughing Gnome? Nope. Can we use the Laughing Gnome? Nope.
Nah, fuck it. If it's not got the backing of the living, very prolific child of David Bowie, like prolific on like social and stuff like that, then I think we all just have to go.
Well, I would say, knowing Duncan Jones, I think he'll be very respectful of the filmmaking process and everything like that, and will just he won't shit on it. He'll just say it's not.
I seem to remember when this film was first announced, he came out and was like, just to be clear, I've got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, he was very much like that, but I think he's a good enough guy that he won't come out and shit on it because it would be bad form.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It might be all right, but it does. I don't know. It does feel a little bit like.
Yeah.
With Bowie's son being who he is as well, the fact that there is a film about his dad being made just feels weird. And also, I think I mentioned this before, but Bowie's played by Johnny Flynn, who was very good in Beast, but also some of the line readings in this trailer basically sound like he's doing the lines from his old Cineworld ads. So, you know, the Cineworld ads where it's like the ground shit, and it was like, God, was your Cineworld open then?
That's before our time.
We just missed it.
Okay, yeah. So it's like they're kind of like Cineworld idents, right? Unlimited and discount snacks and stuff. He played that role for probably a couple of years for Cineworld, and the way he talks in that is exactly the way he talks in this, which is fair enough because it's his voice. But it also shows that he's not really doing a fucking Bowie impression. He's doing his voice. And I'm sure they'll say, well, you know, it's because it's not an impression. It's his interpretation of the role. No, or you just didn't want to do a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Could be that. It's more likely that. Or he's done the voice, he's come in and gone, wow, you really sound like David Bowie. And the lawyers have gone, dumb.
Nope.
He's not allowed to sound like David Bowie. He's not allowed to sound like David Bowie. And then someone's gone, we are making a David Bowie biopic. And the lawyers have gone, legally we are, but we're not. Just say everyone's in the room is okay. We maybe are.
Yeah.
Just on a tangent for a second, did you see Duncan Jones's tweet from earlier about daughter Zoe Bowie?
Yeah.
It made me chuckle.
Another trailer for Freaky.
I didn't watch the new trailer. It's like I've seen what I need to see. I just want to see the film.
Yeah, you have seen what you need to see. The more I see of it, the more I'm going, I just want to watch the movie now. You're now making me go, instead of being like, all right, I'm well up for this, you're now making me go, oh, I'm less up for this.
Oh, really? Oh.
There's a trope that is coming back that feels like we've moved on from. And it seems quite prevalent within this movie.
The hashtag GBF.
Yeah. And it just seems like a little bit like, didn't we had a lot of this in like, what is it? I thought we'd moved on from this. I thought
the gay best friend trope can fuck right off.
Yeah.
The camp gay best friend trope can fuck right off.
It's not the gay best friend thing that I have issue with at all. It's more
it's the
that
fetishizing
stereotypical,
of
yeah.
the
It's that kind of thing. It's like not all gay dudes, and I know many gay dudes are all that.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It just feels like going back in time with that.
It does, but I am looking forward to Vince Vaughn doing something like that. The Midnight Sky. A George Clooney Netflix movie.
Oh yeah, I'm keen for this one.
Ian, you see the trailer for this?
Yeah, right. So comes out 23rd of December on Netflix, and I'm assuming it'll be in whatever cinemas are actually still open in December, because I think England's probably looking at a full lockdown sometime within the next month by the looking at the way the wind's blowing. You've got this, you've got Coming to America, you've got Soul, you've got the HBO Max chief, like, kind of hinting that maybe they've got Wonder Woman.
I don't think it's going to be Wonder Woman.
I just wonder what it's going to be. But
I think it's going to be something else. I don't think it's going to be Wonder Woman.
But, I mean, still, though, so you've got Coming to America, Soul, and The Midnight Sky all within about a week of each other around Christmas. That's a really, really good Christmas lineup. And this, I hope this isn't George Clooney thinking he can do Interstellar and not hitting Interstellar or something like that. I hope I want it to be an adventure which is about something serious but isn't banging you over the head about the serious thing. One of the things about George Clooney is, weirdly, after his second film, he's not really been able to get the tone of any of his projects right again. So that is a concern for me. But it's a great cast, and yeah, it looks like a good, solid, emotional adventure.
It's got a perfect storm in space vibe to it for me, and I'm on board for that.
Everything you guys have said, yes, and I completely 100% agree with. However, I have one issue with it based on the trailer.
Go on.
It looks like a Netflix film. It's got that, almost like all films like are given to, like they're given a
fucking style guide.
Yeah, like a style guide, like literally, like there's a like with Instagram where you get filters and you scroll across, like there's a Netflix film filter that it all is like, right, there you go, that's the grading you're allowed to use. I'll just go past this or past this, and there are
a new money vibe.
There's
Netflix films have a new money vibe.
They just, there's
expensive
something,
but classless.
I don't think that. There's just.
I think it is for me.
That might be the best way for you. Yeah, your description. But yeah, but I don't know. For me, there's just something that just visually they don't. they feel a little bit like flat coloured, like matte, rather than without any gloss on them.
They're cheap, expensive.
It could be that, yeah. But what I don't want is in the back of my brain to be thinking, are some of these guys making them knowing they're TV? They're feature-length TV, rather than what is it? Because not all of them look like it, but you do get ones where you look at it and go, oh yeah, that's the Netflix films. And we've got one coming up next week, like in Holiday, that obviously will break that mold.
We've got one that we're reviewing this week.
Well, yeah, let's get to that. Dreamland.
Looks shite.
What's this?
The new Margot Robbie movie.
Just looks boring.
I really like the look of
Looks
it.
really fucking boring.
Really like the look of it.
Of course you do. She's got Margot Robbie in it,
No, it's
being
not that.
hot and playing a baddie.
Yeah, I did think
Yeah.
about that, yeah. Fair enough.
But it just looks fucking boring. I don't need to see any more Bonnie and Clyde fucking tales.
What else have we got? Oh, we haven't done Ray and the Last Dragon, have we?
Oh, fucking hell, let's go.
That fucking score.
Yep.
Is fantastic.
Just inject it directly into my eyeballs.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all three of us are very high on this one. It does look a little bit like somebody at Disney watched Kubo and went, could we do something like that? And they've gone, yeah. And they've gone, cool. But we're going to give you like 3 times the budget. And they've gone, really fucking cool.
It won't be as good as Kubo, though.
I don't know. I think it looks fantastic. Visually, it looks great. The soundtrack looks great. It looks like it's going to be fun. It just, a part of my brain is going, look, if perfect world scenario, if late January, early February, we start to get a vaccine and we start to be on where we've got over the hill and we're starting to come down the other side of all of this fucking crazy, and a movie that it comes out where we can actually start going to the cinema is going to be this, fucking well happy. That'll be fucking great.
Oh, it looks fantastic. Yeah, it does. I don't like it when Disney do the whole an independent studio has released this, let's do our version of it. That does bother me about them, but it's fine. They can live separately of each other.
What is it about I don't get the similarity between the two films apart from the fact they got the same number of words in the title. What's the
Kubo
in Raya and the Last Dragon? I don't get what...
I got a really Kubo vibe off it. Did you not?
Maybe I don't. I mean, I really like Kubo in the Two Strings, but maybe I just don't remember it.
Yeah, I got a really good, not in like a bad way, but I just got a Kubo vibe off it.
Okay.
The pacing in the trailer is very Kubo-esque.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt a little bit like
that.
that.
The movie might be completely different, and
And in finishing off, I think our trailer things, the Prom.
Fuck.
A movie
that nobody seems to ask for, and nobody wants.
It looks disgusting.
What is it?
A trailer with like I could feel it on my face. Just the look on my face of just like, what the actual fuck? No.
I don't understand what it's about though, because it's like there's a prom and this girl's apparently not going to be going to the prom, but then magical prom elves come and then there's prommy stuff, but I don't have a fucking clue.
Let's try and find a quick synopsis of it.
Oh god, it looks horrible.
It does. You predicted that within within a week of it being released that James Corden will be shitting on it already.
Yeah.
Right. Dee Allen, Meryl Streep, and Barry Glickman, James Corden, are New York stage stars with a crisis on their hands. Their expensive new Broadway show is a major flop that has suddenly flatlined their careers. Meanwhile, a small-town Indiana high school student, Emma Nolan, is experiencing a very different kind of heartbreak. Despite the support of high school principal, the PTA has banned her from attending the prom with her girlfriend. Right. Of course it is, because it's directed by Ryan Murphy.
That fucking aspect was not in the trailer whatsoever, which is interesting. Did I miss it? Did I miss something?
No, you did not.
No.
The only thing
I didn't understand it. Okay.
during the trailer that made me, and I think you'll agree with me on this, Bex, go, was when Kerry Washington turned up.
Kerry Washington is... I'd watch her in anything, to be fair.
I probably won't watch her in this, though.
No. If you just compiled her bits of her looking delightful...
Like a supercut.
Yeah.
A Kerry Washington supercut, where it is literally just the 6 minutes that I guarantee that she has of screen time in that film.
Do you know what? The Meryl Streep acting like an entitled fucking boomer at the hotel check-in desk bit was enough to turn me off.
Yeah,
What is enough to turn the world off?
Meryl Streep's...
James Corden in.
It can fuck right off. This film looks awful.
It's a Netflix film, I'm guessing, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Because Ryan Murphy is very much in the Netflix bed.
What? Not all of Ryan Murphy's stuff's shit.
George seemed to like The Boys in the Band, which I think Ryan Murphy produced and maybe wrote, but yeah, I don't know. This just it made my teeth itch, and you know, I'm all right. I'm all right with musicals. You know, I do like. I mean, Jesus Christ, Mamma Mia. But yeah, it just like I say, did not get that aspect from the trailer at all. And that, I don't know, that kind of says everything. Like, it's a film that's like, look at our story of a brave story of a girl being denied the right to go to a prom with her girlfriend, but we're too scared to discuss that in the marketing.
Yeah,
just makes me more annoyed about it, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, Trump will get in next week and he'll probably ban it.
So anyway, I'm guessing on to another shit Netflix film.
Oh, all right then. Let's. Well, it's the Netflix film. It might not be shit. Who knows?
So you don't know if he saw her when she got back that night, before she took the boat out? It's just that there's something she wanted to tell me. Something very important. And not knowing what it was, that's really been the hardest thing. Oh, I'm not doing my roguish image any good, am I?
You should come back and ask Maxim.
Well, I would. But I'm afraid I'm a little bit banned from visiting. In fact, it's probably best if you don't mention my being here at all today.
But I thought you were friends.
Not really, no. And I would hate for either one of us to be on the receiving end of that famous temper of his.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it is still early days. Well, I better not keep Danny waiting. You know how she is.
It's Rebecca, directed by Ben Wheatley, starring Lily James, Armie Hammer, Kristen Scott Thomas, and Sam Claflin. Adaptation of the Daphne du Maurier. Sorry?
Is Sam Claflin there?
No, not Sam Claflin. Sam Riley.
I missed that entire bit.
Sorry. Yeah, Sam Riley. My bad. Yeah, not Sam Claflin at all. Adaptation of the Daphne du Maurier novel, and which Hitchcock made a film of. So Lily James plays an assistant to a horrible fucking woman who I think is played by Anne Dowd. I saw her in the credits. I'm assuming that was her. she meets Maxime De Winter, played by Armie Hammer. They have a bit of a whirlwind romance. They marry, and he takes her back to his Mandalay estate, where Lily James's kind of actually nameless character is soon beset by the seeming kind of spirits of Maxime's dead wife Rebecca, and is not having a very good time with the housekeeper played by Kristen Scott Thomas. I'm gonna up a little bit by starting with me and just saying that I thought the film was fine, but kind of pointless, and I'm a little... Why did they go to all the effort to do that then, about it all? Becky and Mark, I believe, have stronger opinions, so I'll go to Becky first.
I feel like there's gradients with the quality of the telling of this story, and it starts with the story, and then you've got the Hitchcock version, and then you've got this. And
you're not a fan of the book, are you?
I like it fine. The story is very good. The writing is not for me.
That's fair.
Just because it's like old school writing, it's dense and it's hard to get through. But the story itself is very good, and the storyline is something that could be built upon. The Hitchcock movie I quite enjoy, but it hasn't got the same kind of gravity as the book does. And then you've got this, which seems to be just trying to do a Netflix version of the actual story, which is taking any weight or darkness out of it. And I like you're saying, I don't see the point. The Hitchcock version exists, the book exists. If you're not going to do something else with it and improve upon it, don't fucking do it. It's very colourful. It's very pastely and pretty, and I think you used the phrase Easter special.
Yeah.
But the acting isn't great in it. And I like Armie Hammer and I like Lily James, but the acting in it is weak as fuck. It's so two-dimensional. There is one brief section in it that is actually fairly interesting to watch, which is the segment where after she's found out that he has actually killed her, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad that you killed her, and it's not that you just don't love me," which is so pathetic enough in and of itself. But that is part of the story.
That's fair enough, yeah. Fair.
You know, that kind of pathetic anti-feminist kind of sentiment is part of the original story. So I guess it just kind of has to be there. But it's just so stupid. Like, the way that it's portrayed in this version of it is just really, really grow the fuck up. Like, when she breaks the fucking statuette and stuff and she hides it so scared in the bureau, and it's like, bless you. It's like, you're the lady of the fucking house. Own your place. Stop being such a fucking beta to this dead bitch. Like, it really fucking annoyed me. It really, really fucking annoyed me. And the fact, like, the thing is, like, when you read the book and you watch the Alfred Hitchcock version, she's supposed to be this, like, real plain Jane kind of girl, like, this real mouse of a girl. And it's Lily James. So it doesn't pan anyway. This can fuck right off.
Fair enough.
Go on, Mark.
Right. So Ben Wheatley is an actor. Is a director that I have. I've got on with some of his stuff, and I've not got on with other bits. We've covered, I think, almost all of them, with the exception of Kill List, on the podcast thing, haven't we? Yeah,
probably Kill List and Down Terrace. I don't think we've done everything else. Yeah.
I really liked both those. Because I didn't get on with Sightseers, I didn't get on with Field in England. I really liked High Rise. I liked Free Fire, and I actually liked Happy New Year. Colin Thurston.
Is that him?
Yeah. But so, and then you're doing Rebecca, right? And you've got a Netflix. It's a Netflix movie. And you're making Rebecca, and you've got Lily James, Armie Hammer, and Kristen Scott Thomas involved, who all are, the casting of that. I think is actually pretty decent. I think you don't look at any of them and go, no.
Not so much Lily James for the part she's supposed to be playing.
You're never going to get an actual plain Jane because plain Janes don't become actors. Otherwise, they just wouldn't get parts.
What Chinless Maid? She could have played it.
Yeah, but nobody would have watched Chinless Maid as what is it, would they? So the casting there is fine. The bit that first of all made me go a little bit like, okay, was when literally when the Netflix logo came up and it started and the little bit in the top left hand side of our screen came up and said 12A. And I thought,
not a 12A story.
Oh, Ben Wheatley is making a version of Rebecca that's a 12A. All right, fair enough. And can I also point out very quickly, it's a minor grumble, but I think it's valid. It's an hour and 53 minutes until we get to see Lily James die, which is basically criminal. It's pointless, it's tantamount to torture.
Armie Hammer's mustard suit bothered me as well. The fact that he kept wearing just variations upon it, like the jacket with a different pair of trousers, the trousers with a different jacket.
Did it bother you as much as the fact that Lily James seemed to wear one pair of trousers for about a good 2 months worth of the film? But anyway, the whole thing just feels very toothless and very. It floats along, but every moment where you think, right, here we go, it's going to ramp up, it just doesn't. It kind of sits in the driveway and just revs a little bit, and you're going, no, go somewhere.
What bothers me as well is two things. If you're going to make a remake of a Hitchcock movie, you have to have a direction to take it in. Otherwise, you are going to get criticised for it, for just making a pointless remake. So there's that. Also, hang on, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Shit, I completely lost my thread. Carry on.
What you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting what you're saying about the engine revs, but it never goes anywhere. And I think Sam Riley's character is a really good point for that. He turns up halfway through. He may as well be like, hello there, I'm Captain Shifty, for just how fucking down the line, shifty bastard he plays it. And he just kind of lingers in the background. He has a couple of moments. Then at the end, it's like, what? Just because you're beating the courts, you think I'm going to let you get away? And Lily James is basically, yeah. And then that's the end of his character.
Well, better. And then he just does.
Yeah, she's like, well, she'll be my place, isn't she?
Yeah, that was quite a good Sam Riley. That fair play. Yeah, I mean, the Armie Hammer casting is it's bizarre because it literally took until Keeley Hawes playing his sister coming into it for me to realise, oh shit, he's supposed to be English.
Yeah, and I can see that. But I think part of that is the script is fucking dreadful.
Yeah, it's awful. Awful.
I actually can't remember the bits, but there's a few bits where I actually paused and turned around to Bex and just went, Really? And I promise this is true, Becky, you will be witness to this. From the bit where they get to just before they get to Mandalay to just before shit gets a little bit wrong in Mandalay. There. The amount of times it is literally, oh, Rebecca was great. Rebecca was fantastic. She was so pretty. I used to brush Rebecca's hair. That bit was creepy. Not like in a creepy as in she's weird. It was just, you're just a bit fucking odd creepy.
Oh, Danny, brush my hair.
Yeah,
no one brushes it.
Kristen Scott Thomas, who I think is brilliant and could play a brilliant Mrs. Danvers, was terrible in this.
Yeah.
But I literally... We paused it for some reason to go to the bathroom and get a drink, or just to stop watching it for a minute. And I turned out and went, Rebecca is great. Literally just gives blowjobs and candy to fucking all, and the movie will not let you forget it. We get it. Everybody loved Rebecca, and we all know why you're building it up. It's so you can cut it down that she's a piece of shit. It's even that, I don't get it. I don't get if Ben Wheatley really wanted to make a remake of Rebecca and saw something that he could do with it, why didn't he do it? And if he did do it, what the fuck was it?
Yeah. No, I mean, the weird thing about it is I think it does some interesting stuff kind of like earlier on where it's kind of the editing's interesting. It's kind of cutting between the next scene and kind of like what's happening before it, and kind of like playing with time a little bit there, which I thought was good. And like her nightmare sequence and the sequence at the party, that's got the kind of more gothic horror stuff that you expect of Rebecca, but there's not enough of it. And just to finish, like, it's Ben Wheatley, Kill List, A Field in England. Like, regardless of what you think about those films, he can conjure a fucking atmosphere. So it's mental that this film, it just doesn't.
With the party sequence, I get what you mean there. You start to think that it's having that, but all I was doing was looking at it and going, great. So this is a sanitized version of what you already did in High Rise.
Yeah.
The thing is as well, again, it comes back to it. If you can't do it better than the film that's already been made, don't fucking do it. Like, if you was making an adaptation of the book, fine. If he was making a better adaptation, like a remake of the movie, fine. But he's done neither.
I'll say that, because the thing is, while I was watching it, it was bothering me, but I was all right with watching it. I wasn't not enjoying it. I would say I wasn't enjoying it, but it wasn't offending me or anything like that. It finished, and I wasn't like, well, I wasted my fucking time with that. And I wasn't like checking my phone or anything, which I really, really try not to do on a new movie. I just put my phone somewhere else so I can't look at it, because I think the minute you start looking at your phone, if you start looking at it during movies that are boring you, how close are you to doing it in movies that you're actually fucking enjoying? And then it just becomes, no, you're the problem, I'm the problem, not the film. So I wasn't looking at my phone or anything like that in it. I was trying to go, right, it's going to get going, it's going to get going. And it didn't, and I started getting it. I then started picking out more bits that I didn't like. And that is the sign where a film has just completely failed to get you. And then you have the big... the burning thing. With the Mandalay burning and everything like that. All I was thinking while Mandalay was burning, and there's two parts to this bit, all I was thinking about Mandalay was burning was, honestly, in the back of my head, and I think I referenced it to you, Bex, was, do you reckon he was insured for that?
You did say that, yeah.
Do you reckon he's insured for that? Because if it's not, it's like, that's like an entire house and all the pigs and stuff like that. And I'm trying to work out in my brain going, he must have been insured. Property insurance and, contents insurance must have existed. Like at that time, it must have. So yeah, he'll have been insured. He'll be all right.
Conversation with yourself,
right? And that's the conversation I was having about that bit. And then the next bit with Danvers on the side of the the cliff edge, and it's like that.
With the constantly moving fucking...
I was watching it going, that building that's on fire is the boathouse, which is next to the beach. So why is it all the way up the cliff now?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. So if she's jumping from there, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I'm really disappointed in this because I was really looking forward to this, and it's a bit naff. I'm sorry. It's BBC Easter special.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't. I'm starting to go a little bit. The most recent things, and in saying that, Ben Wheatley's that is done. Goodnight Colin Burston was a BBC film that never got a cinematic release. It just got released on New Year's Eve, I believe. I quite enjoyed it, but it for all intents and purposes, it's a TV movie. You know, there's nothing bad with TV movies. Fucking Christine was a TV movie.
Christine's great, though.
Yeah, but there's nothing bad. TV movies can be good.
Oh, no, yeah.
But he also directed some episodes of Doctor Who. And there's this, and it's just like, and then he's going to be doing the Meg next. Meg 2 next.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's doing Tomb Raider 2, which is also written by his missus, which is fucking fascinating. And a jump to give it. Sorry, I shouldn't just say his missus. But and now he's doing the Meg 2, and I think it's interesting that he's pushing himself. And also, I will say that load of film Twitter is saying, "What's he doing this for? He's just cashing a paycheck." Fucking good on Ben Wheatley for cashing a paycheck because he works harder than you fucking do.
That's it. Why should he cash a fucking paycheck? You know, that's literally his job is being a film director. And you know, maybe he wants to look at it and go, "Do you know what? I've not tried making a movie that's going to have a really big budget and that's going to be a spectacle and adventure thing. Why not fucking give it a go?" So I would never criticise a filmmaker for doing something like that. You know, try fucking everything. You know, go if you're at a fucking buffet, try fucking everything. Don't just stick to the what is it.
Knowing you're not up to it and then make a fucking shambles of it.
Well, no, but that's the thing. The problem is with filmmakers in the same way as football managers and things like that. It's these people think that what they're going to do is going to be great.
So did you think this was going to be great, Jack?
Yeah, of course he did.
But it's not.
But there's a point. I mean, there's certain bits that made me straight away start to worry, and they were
Jane Goldman.
They were 12A, and then when I saw Jane Goldman, I thought, oh, so this isn't written by Amy Jump. Oh. That's worrying.
This is to me disrespectful to the original story.
It's just I don't think it's very good. I think it's very weak sauce. That's the last thing I say. Otherwise,
there we go. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely the kindest on it. I would say Touching Cloth. I didn't hate it. I think it's fine, but I think it's utterly inessential, which I'll be the exact same thing I'll be saying about another film that we'll be talking about later on as well, funnily enough. But I'm guessing you guys are definitely shit.
Yeah, it is shit.
Do you know, if you'd called me 24 hours ago, I'd have said Touching Cloth. It's an inoffensive adaptation of a story. But the more I think about it, the more offended by it I am.
One of those ones that's just riled you.
Yeah.
That's my thing with it. What I will say, I think Lily James is very good in it because I think she carries it very, very well.
Lily James is fucking fine in it. You just like her legs.
I think everyone should like Lily James's legs.
Oh, everyone should like Lily James's legs.
That's what Mum made too.
If you take Lily James's legs out of the equation, her performance is shit.
I wouldn't go as far as shit.
I wouldn't go so far, but you know, sounds like maybe we're slightly biased.
Was definitely not shit 20%, Touching Cloth 50%, and shit 30%.
Okay.
Interrupt this Pod Syndicate podcast to bring you a special Pod Syndicate bulletin.
This podcast you're listening to, pretty good, isn't it?
Only problem is, it's about halfway through. Pretty soon, it'll be over, and then what are you gonna do? Well, if you're a fan of this show, why not head over to wearepodsyndicate.com and subscribe to our brand new feed, Pod Syndicate The Bonus Shows. Every week, your hosts from Beyond the Neon, Chinstroker vs. Punter, Entertainment Landfill, Film Bastards, His Film, Her Movie, and What's on Tap will be dropping bonus shows right onto that feed. These shows might be collaborations and crossovers, or they might be archive episodes, interviews, one-offs, and other treats from across the Pod Syndicate network. So, prepare yourself for the inevitable disappointment of this Pod Syndicate show ending by heading to wearepodsyndicate.com and clicking on The Bonus Shows. We now return you to your regularly scheduled Pod Syndicate podcast.
CS3P Combat! Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Chinstroker. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring two film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in English. That's the third time though. I mean, is this on?
Does my foot smell funny? Because I was wondering.
We're watching Breaking Bad.
What?
It's really good.
It's a great show. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen it. It's great. It's not for kids.
What? Was there something bad on?
No. Yeah. Hey, look, I can shuffle.
Oh, wow, that's great.
We learned that all young girls should know how to shuffle and how to
Bluff.
bluff. Right. And how do you bluff?
Poker face.
Poker face. Poker face. Poker face. Nice. Nice.
Right. Let's move on to On the Rocks, directed by Sofia Coppola. Why did I just however? Starring Rashida Jones, Bill Murray, and Marlon Wayans. This is the story of Rashida Jones and Marlon Wayans play a New York couple. She is suspecting him of having an affair, and her dad, played by Bill Murray, kind of enlists himself essentially to try and find out the truth with her. Mark, what did you think to On the Rocks?
Well, I'm very hit and miss with Sofia Coppola as a filmmaker. Literally down to the fact that I think if you go through her filmography, I think I literally am bouncing from like didn't like really like. I like Third Suicide enough. I like Lost in Translation. I've never really loved a film of hers, and I think The Beguiled, which we did a couple of years ago on here, I actively disliked. And then you've got on the Rocks. I loved this film, to be honest. I had a really great time. It was a really sweet, nice watch about something that probably shouldn't be as sweet and as nice as the storyline would make it. And I think a lot of it is the sheer force of personality of Bill Murray. I think Bex summed it up quite well while we were watching the movie, where I think you said to me, if you're not a fan of Bill Murray's shtick,
if you're bought into Bill Murray's particular brand of bullshit, you will love this movie. Yeah. If not,
yeah, and that's it. And I think that's kind of perfect. It's got a. We shouldn't sound really hypocritical. It's got a pointlessness to it that I kind of got along with, in the sense that nothing actually really happens within it.
easy pointlessness, though, isn't it?
But Bill Murray driving around in a red sports car whilst eating caviar and essentially sleuthing around and seeming to kind of almost enjoy it more than he probably should, just because he's getting to spend time with his daughter, is nice. And then the bit where she finally chews him out, and he has no response to it. I thought that was really quite well handled, in the fact that
he knows this about himself already.
Yeah, and he can understand this, and he almost has this. I'm not going to defend myself because I can't defend myself, but it is what it is.
I think a lot of it is he, in her suspicions, he sees a lot of what he did wrong and wants to protect his daughter from that.
Yeah, it ticks on at a nice pace for me in terms of that. It's Bill Murray and Rashida Jones essentially travelling around New York, with Bill Murray having an awful lot of fun and Rashida Jones being like quite worried and a little bit of a dick, to be honest. But yeah, I had a great time with it. Somebody else can talk for a second. So it's gone for a week.
Go on, Bex. How'd you get on with it?
Very much the same, to be perfectly honest. I like Sofia Coppola movies. I like the kind of slice of life kind of stuff that she does, and it's very much that. It's this little segment of their lives where obviously she has these suspicions. They end up being unfounded, which is nice as well. Like, it could have very easily ended up being that he actually was dicking about on her, but it's not, and he presents her with the red box at the end, and it's fine. But just like reconnecting with her dad and doing this like kind of detective shit. The bit with the copper when they get pulled over and it turns out that he knows him is really well done. Like he's one of those dickhead guys that just knows everyone, and those really infuriating people. I really liked it. I thought it was really quite sweet. Obviously characters are fallible, and I think the good thing about Sofia Coppola movies is that no one's ever just black or white. No one's ever a goodie or a baddie. They all have grey areas, and she's very good at bringing that around, but still making them relatable, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair, because like Bill Murray, like some of the stuff he comes out with is like, what the fuck, and just the way that he's constantly slightly cracking onto the women around him, and but he is charming. He is that guy who knows everyone. He is that guy that everybody just knows is a bit of a laugh. But then, like you say, he's got that kind of like that feeling remorse for how he was when his daughter was younger, and kind of seeing that in other men. And I think that kind of like quiet realization of, do you know what? Yeah, all right, maybe I was just a dickhead, and like some men aren't actually that bad. I thought was interesting. I think the film is kind of pointless, and it's very effervescent. Like, it comes and it goes, but there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. It's perfectly fine while it's on, and that's kind of it, really, for me. Which maybe, I don't know, is damning with faint praise. But yeah, I really enjoyed it while it's on. I'll watch it again, but again, it feels like one that's just gonna slightly float away a little bit to me.
I think I could see myself watching this quite often, to be honest. In terms of that,
it's
the middle section is fun.
It's an awful lot of fun. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think of a kind of like a comparison piece to it. It almost this on the rocks. I said this. I'm pointing on the rocks on my iPad for people who are thinking, what's he saying this for? On the Rocks feels a little bit like the movies that Woody Allen in his brain thinks he's making now, and he's not. It's just creepy. They don't have any of the charm of this. And I think it's really nice that Sofia Coppola, it's a good kind of, almost like a timestamp in her career, because you're going back to like, the film that made her as a filmmaker was, Lost in Translation, which is, a different but a similar thematic kind of idea, in the fact that you've got Bill Murray essentially traveling around a city with a young woman. It's a different story case of that, but it's almost like there's a little bit of, you can see I don't want to use the phrase growth of a filmmaker, because that's not what I mean.
You feel like she's not trying as hard to be.
She's gone, do you know what I do really well? I do really well. Two people just chatting.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, if you as a filmmaker, as a film writer and a film director, if you can get people to have that much fun with two people driving around in a fucking car, do you know what? If you want to keep going at that fucking well, do it. The thing that destroyed Kevin Smith as a filmmaker was the fact that he decided he didn't want to continue just doing View Askew universe stuff, and now he's gone back to the fucking well, but he's had a too big a break, where it feels like the fucking magic went a little bit.
Well, that's it. You look at the Sofia Coppola failures. It's where she's gone too far away from that kind of.
The Beguile people really liked it, and that's cool. But if every other film we get,
but Marie Antoinette, for example,
goddamn fucking bad shit,
is an abomination.
If every couple of films we get from Sofia Coppola, it is essentially Bill Murray and somebody else going on a little fucking John. My God. I really hope there's another one, and we can call it like whatever trilogy it gets fucking labelled with. Because, do you know what? It's fantastic. Rashida Jones bounces off him really well. She's not just caught up in a Bill Murray fucking whirlwind of charisma. She's bouncing off that really quite well. Yeah. The bit where she gets where she arrives outside where he's spying on the hotel room. He's worked out what the hotel room is, and he's got that fucking he's got the gilet with all the bits in it, and then he's doing the little roll on the shelf thing. She's as funny in that. He can be as funny as that because she's allowing him to have that area and keeping it grounded in some form of reality.
She's kind of the straight man, isn't she?
But then she storms off up to the thing when she thinks something's going on, where she loses what is it, and then has a reaction of, oh shit, and it doesn't know what to fucking say, and Bill Murray's hiding behind a plant. And then when he comes out and she's like, oh, this is my dad, and she's like, do you want to go for a drink? He's like, yeah, we can come in for one drink. And it's like, fucking hell. And the thing is, you watch it going, God, I would watch an extended version of this movie where they do go in for that fucking drink. Yeah. And then he's just sat there with her going, in her mind, just going, Richard Jones going, don't mention the fact they're gay. Don't mention the fact they're gay. And him just going, and then just coming up with this weird fable about how women became gay or something like that. Yeah. And it would have just, I could have happily watched another 40 minutes of this movie and just probably still not got bored. I genuinely... it might be in my top 10 of the year. But I think it will be. Quite high up, to be honest, as well. Been blast with it.
Okay, very good. Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely not shit. I mean, I think this time around I'm cooler on it than you guys, but I think it's definitely worth a watch. And
absolutely,
if Bill Murray in a Sofia Coppola film sounds like your thing, then you're gonna fucking have a ball.
Yeah, absolutely. as a little bit of a thing, we've got so we've done 2 films that were available streaming and were available in selected cinemas, in Rebecca and this. If I'd watched Rebecca in a cinema, I'd have come out and thought, yeah, I'm watching something that was made for a streaming service.
Yeah.
On the Rocks, I wouldn't have.
No, it feels cinematic.
It feels it's a really fucking good looking movie. It's, but also as well, if you'd have told me at the start of last week you're going to be watching a Ben Wheatley film and a Sofia Coppola film, and you're gonna like the Sofia Coppola film a lot more, I'd have been like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, I'm guessing you're definitely not shit.
Yeah, definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit, 89%.
Wow.
And touching cloth, 11%.
No shit.
No shits, no. I can see why people could be a little bit like touching cloth on that. I think if you're not
bought into Bill Murray's particular brand of bullshit.
Yeah, then I think it could be that. But yeah, I very much am.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna take my turn to go to the toilet now. So if you guys want to get started with some what we've been watching, I'll be back in a minute.
Cool. Thanks. What are you watching on your solo lot?
Yeah. Okay. There's one that I want to talk about when you get back. Obviously, you watch it as well.
Oh yes. You guys talk about that. We better talk about that last, so it can go into Ian's what he's been watching as well.
I will do that one because I've not quite watched the end of it yet. So I watched. So I watched Alien Resurrection after we'd watched Alien 3.
Yeah, which you'll be able to listen to if you are a Patreon. If you go to Patreon/FilmBastards, $2 a month, and you can get Fincher Club, the first episode out there. Continue, Rebecca.
So I decided that I wanted to watch. It was beautiful.
What's on it?
I decided that I wanted to watch Alien Resurrection because I've seen Alien and Alien 2 a billion times.
And you hate yourself, apparently.
But Alien 3 and Alien 4, not so much. And so I decided that I wanted to watch it. It's...
Pap.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not pap. But it very much, if you like the actual Alien movies where Ellen Ripley is actual Ellen Ripley, this film is very annoying. I think I described it when we were talking about it as if Firefly and The City of Lost Children had a baby, and that is basically what it is. The fingerprints of the writer and the director are all over this movie. Ellen Ripley is essentially some kind of pseudo Buffy character, and that's not what she is. The charm of the Ellen Ripley character is that she's a normal person that happens to be just really good at surviving these dickheads.
Yeah.
And turning her into a fucking
Super Ripley
is just, it's a bit of a whiplash kind of moment, and if they'd taken it further with it as kind of, oh look, this is what happens when you mix the DNA of one of the xenomorphs with a human, and then they become these kind of people, and done that with it, that could have been quite interesting. But they don't really. They stop it with Ripley, and then obviously the films stop at that point, apart from the stupid crossover movies, and then they go back to the prequels.
You fucking wash your mouth. That AVP's better than Alien Resurrection.
Winona Ryder's really fucking weak in it.
Yeah. Ron Perlman's in it, isn't he?
Ron Perlman's really good in it, but then Ron Perlman's in it because it's a Jeunet movie.
Yeah, Ron
so
Perlman.
And like those guys, like the general kind of Jeunet guys that are in it are great. But it just doesn't feel like an Alien movie at all.
Those guys shouldn't be making an Alien movie.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
No.
What else you watched? So, I've not watched anything Solo this week.
I also watched The Mask.
The Jim Carrey one?
Yes. The Jim Carrey one.
The fuck was that?
I don't know. You did a funny voice.
I was
Le Jim Carrey.
I was sniffing at the same time.
Do you know what? I watched it as kind of an in the background movie when I was doing like some other stuff, and consistently found myself being pulled towards it not being a background movie. It's very, very funny still. Cameron Diaz is fucking smoking in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just really good fun. But everyone knows that.
Oh, hello.
And I also watched Hello.
Yeah, sorry.
I also watched Captain Atlantis again because I really like this movie and I keep suggesting it to you and you keep saying, we've watched it far too recently, Rebecca.
We have watched it far too recently. Heart Atlantis is not a movie you need to watch every 18 months.
I mean, I disagree. So I watched Hearts of Atlantis, and yeah, it's really good. It's a very good adaptation of what essentially is a short story to go alongside the Dark Tower series. What's his name? God, I can't remember his name. Hannibal Lecter guy.
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins is really good in it. Baby Anton Yelchin is very good in it. It's really quite like there's the supernatural element to it because there always is in the Stephen King books, but it's because it's adapted from a short story, it gives the filmmaker more room to maneuver. And I think a lot of times the short story adaptations for Stephen King historically have been better than the long form novels.
That's definitely a truism.
And yeah, it's very good, very, very good. And then the other one that I watched on my own was Over the Moon, which I believe you watched as well.
We'll come to that at the end of our not even watching the segue quite nice into the ends.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay.
Did this in seven. Clearly not.
All right.
What else we watched then, Bex? We watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Because I was, what was it? It was last week, wasn't it? I was cleaning out I was essentially repairing the vacuum cleaner, wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
And so we had Diary of a Wimpy Kid on the background. Weird thing about Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The second and third movie are on Disney Plus, but the first one isn't.
Oh.
Yeah. I really like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. They're fun films.
It's quite nice because it's nice to like psychologically go back to a time when our child wasn't a piece of shit.
Yeah, there is that.
Because she quite liked these, didn't she?
Yes, she did. But yeah, I've got on there. It's fun. It's silly. It's stupid. It's juvenile. It's quite a lot of fun. I look forward to the next few weeks gradually watching the rest of them.
Yeah. I think the first one is the best of the lot, though.
No, I don't think it is. I think Robert Rules is the best one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is the third, I believe. Continued our random rewatch of the Bourne movies with Bourne Supremacy.
And?
No, we haven't watched Bourne.
Oh, we're not finished.
No, we haven't finished it. So watch Bourne Supremacy. What do you think, Max, on the rewatch?
I think it's been more of a muddy kind of story than the first one. It's a bit less kind of coherent, but still very entertaining.
It's
entertaining. Just a bit like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much this time as I did the last time I watched it. It felt a little bit messy.
Yeah.
And not quite all there, and a little bit like, oh, all right, fair enough.
I'd agree.
Yeah, it's because I think there seems like a logic that the Bourne movies get better as you go along up until Jason Bourne, which nobody liked. But yeah, I didn't get on with Supremacy as much this time.
No.
We watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003 Jessica Biel's Butt edition. Bex.
Yeah, it's very good. I think it's taking Texas Chainsaw Massacre is kind of a classic, and the 2003 remake it does kind of turn it into a very generic noughties horror movie.
Yeah.
But it's still very enjoyable.
It's icky and grim.
Yeah.
And I quite like it's icky and grim. There's a lot of moments in horror movies. You should at a lot of points go, oh no, don't do that. Oh god. And it has a lot of moments of that. It's not really scary or anything like that. It is just, it's that period in horror movies where things were just fucking grim.
I'd like to watch the original again, to be fair, to see if it actually is all that, or if it was just all that for the time.
No, Texas Massacre is fantastic. It was a fun going back to rewatch it. That's what I will say. And then finally, of ones that we watched, we watched The Craft, didn't we?
Yeah.
The new Craft movie is out this week, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any plans to go and see it, but it does exist. What do you think, Bex, about a rewatch of The Craft?
See, I really like The Craft. I like the spooky shit that's going on in it, and it's very kind of like teen drama spookiness, isn't it?
Yes.
I think you mentioned at the time, like in retrospect, when you kind of think about it, that final sequence where Fruza Balk and generic wig wearing girl are having their showdown. It seems like it's a lot longer than when you watch it. It's like it's really not. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I like it. I still like it. I'm still not super keen for the fact that they're doing like a sequel for it. And I think you mentioned at the time as well, when the trailer came out, the bit where they're like, "No, mister, we are the weirdos." In the trailer for the new one, it's like, you're not now. Like now, when you watch the Craft and they're like, "No, mister, we are the weirdos," it's like, no, you wouldn't be now. You would have been then.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, people are just fucking weird now.
But even within The Craft, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Even The Craft, the bit where the guy says that, the bus driver says that, it's like, why are you saying that? There's no reason for you to say that.
No.
It's the middle of the day, you're dropping them off. At what looks like a pretty normal bus stop in a pretty normal town, and you're going, oh, watch out for those weirdos. It's like, what weirdos?
Over the moon.
I enjoyed this. So this is the new Netflix film that had a little theatrical release the week beforehand. I almost took lots to see it, and then didn't. But yeah, it was. I thought some of it was batshit because like it's obviously designed with a Chinese audience in mind, and it kind of feels like there were things that were major significance to a Chinese audience, which I didn't get, which I'm fine with because fuck, let Chinese folks have a nice animated film, brilliant. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Very cute, very sweet, and I think you liked it as well, didn't you, Bex?
Yeah, I did. I'd seen quite a few kind of good reviews about it, and I was like, right, fuck it. I don't have a child, but I'm gonna watch it anyway. And yeah, it's just really it's really sweet. I think the message in it is it's really well handled. The whole kind of obviously she loses her mum and she has to kind of get to grips with the idea of her dad moving on, and I think it's a story that's been dealt with many times in various children's movies, but I just think it's really kind of nicely done. She gets to her own point of accepting it without an awful lot of heavy-handedness from the adults in her life. The little brother's really fucking annoying. The frog could do without that as well. But yeah, I just think it's kind of really sweet, and like it's obviously taking this really traditional Korean story of the like moon goddess, I think she is, isn't she?
Sure.
Sure. and the Jade Rabbit, and it's almost like a whole thing, and the mooncakes are like a whole thing as well. And yeah, I just think it's really sweet, and I think everything's really kind of well done with it. I think there's a couple of like musical numbers in it that I could have lived without, but then I'm a grown up, so it's very different. I think if you're watching it with kids, musical numbers are like a whole thing. To be fair though, the one where they first meet, it's Chang'e, isn't it? Chang'e.
Yeah.
On the moon, and she's doing like a whole pop star bit. That's quite cool. I quite enjoyed that. And even the ping pong one, I quite enjoyed that as well.
The what? Sorry. The ping pong. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. It was just like with the ping pong, it was like, okay, that was an interesting sequence in isolation, but what the fuck did that mean for the story? You know, and or the bit where the two rabbits, like the one rabbit was making that potion or whatever the fuck it was, and then the other rabbit comes in and like makes the potion for them, and it was like, I don't understand what's happening here, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that weird like whole romance sequence with like Jade Rabbit and Bungie. It's like, and then at the end she's like, I understand if you want to stay, and it's like, yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah. No, it was very, very sweet. You know, kids will have a good time with it. Lottie had a good time with it. It kept her attention all the way through. Yeah, you know, it was a good time.
Really beautifully animated as well. I like the fact
gorgeous
that Chang'e kept making fun of her haircut. That was quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really pretty, well made, good story. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, cracking. So that's on Netflix, and yeah, it's worth a watch, especially if you've got kids or if you just by yourself.
If you want something to watch that's not miserable.
Yeah, that's true.
So what have you been watching on your own?
Oh, was that Mark or me? Sorry.
Mark.
No,
have you watched anything on your own? No. Ian, what have you been watching?
I've got a couple of things, I believe. Or is it? Wow, is it just one? Yeah, maybe it is, because it was a busy main review week, wasn't it? So, yeah. So I watched Aliens, because obviously he talks about Alien 3 and 7 in the Fincher Chat show. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because I've seen Alien loads and not seen Aliens nearly as much, and it's fucking great as Aliens, isn't it? Like it's a completely different beast. I mean, we talk about that again in the Fincher Chat, how each Alien film is like very much its own thing, but it's just a terrific action film. Even the smaller of the side characters have got like memorable moments or lines, you know. I just like Drake with the Drake, you know, there's a problem with your camera, can you check your headset? He just bashes it against the side. It's like, right, yep, okay, that'll do. And Apone is fucking incredible, and I like the misdirect they do with him, where you kind of think he's going to be there all the way through, kind of like corralling the soldiers, and then basically as soon as they hit the alien nest, bang, he's gone. That's wonderful. And we didn't talk about it earlier on, but James Cameron, some stuff came out about Avatar 2 this week.
Yes.
And like, so Kate Winslet had to fucking hold her breath underwater for 7 minutes to do one scene, and you know they had kids as young as 7 doing fucking acting underwater, holding their breath, and it's like, I'm not necessarily looking to forward to Avatar 2 because it's Avatar 2. I'm looking forward to it because it's James Cameron being given all the money in the world and being told, right, yeah, just do whatever the fuck you want, mate.
The thing is, he's earned the right to be able to do that, because never fucking bet against the guy.
Yeah, because straight up.
You can bet against him making a good movie. Don't bet against that movie making $2 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't know. You know, all power to him. You know, and it's fuck, man. I mean, like, I'll go watch that in the cinema. This is the thing. It's like I was saying how I've kind of made my peace about not going back to the cinema. I'm going to completely contradict that though and say as soon as I see a massive fucking blockbuster in the cinema, I'll probably be like, I'm all about the cinema all the time. Please, thank you very much. Please, yes, bye. You know, I may well be that. And if you told me, right, tomorrow you can see Avatar 2 in the cinema, I'd be like, yeah, all right, then fine. Gimme. You know, so aren't I a hypocritical bastard? Right. Borat Subsequent Moviefilm.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's it.
Okay,
This comes today, I'm an okeksh. I want this one with the baby on it.
Okay.
This is our little secret. Welcome. Okay, what you tell me that? איפה התינוק?
גוטר בבטו.
מה קרה? צריכים ללכת לדוקטור.
I have a baby inside me, and I want to take it out of me.
Right. She wants it out now, please. Right. Can you take it out? No, we cannot. What you say, take it out.
Yes.
You end that life. That life will die.
Right, it's already dead. It's not living.
No, it is a living, breathing life that God has created.
I don't think he's breathing.
We can show you that it's breathing.
I feel bad because I was the one who put the baby in her.
You don't need to feel bad.
I was just trying to give my daughter pleasure, and next thing I know, there's a baby inside her.
You keep calling her your daughter.
Yes.
Okay. Is he your father?
Yes.
This is your daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so Borat Subsequent Moviefilm, delivery of prodigious bribe to American regime for make benefit once glorious nation of Kazakhstan, is directed by Jason Walliner and stars Sacha Baron Cohen, Maria Bakalova, Rudy Giuliani, and a bunch of other people, I suppose. So Borat 2 sees Borat basically being a bit of a pariah in Kazakhstan, but he is given a second chance at redemption by the Kazakhstan premier, where he is told if he can deliver a porn star monkey to Mike Pence to try and get Kazakhstan into America's good books, then that will get Borat his freedom. Borat teams up with his daughter Tutar, played by Maria Bakalova, and they kind of show a mirror up to America, and generally take the piss. So, Mark, Borat Subsequent Moviefilm, your thoughts?
It made me outright laugh out loud once during it when he referred to Kanye West as Kenneth West. I laughed an awful fucking lot. And then for large swathes of it, I was really bored because it's quite boring. It's not my shtick. In the same way, it's somebody recently explained to me what Gogglebox was, and when they explained it to me, my response was, "Wait, so you're watching stupid people watch TV and watching their reaction?" I'm like, yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's like, that sounds fucking horrid. What the fuck?
And what did Becky say to that?
And it's my issue with the Borat thing is, and I think Sacha fucking Baron Cohen knows this. It's not. It's not doing what it thinks it's doing. It's not poking fun and going, "Oh my god, look at these people." What is it? It's the lasting impression of the first Borat movie isn't to look at the social commentary of it. It's idiots on stag nights wearing mankinis shouting, "My wife is dead," and bits like that. It's not doing what it thinks it does, and I also think that there's a lot of it in this. It goes for pointless shock value, which just made me go, really? Is this all you've got? The same girl lifts what is it up to show pubic hair or menstrual cycle. It just feels a little bit like, really, is that all you've got? And it just I found it just a bit boring, and I genuinely I don't get it. What it's putting out there, I don't get, and that's cool. That if other people get it, cool. But it's one of those things where I don't understand it. It's not for me. So for the people liked it, great. I don't get why. It feels a little bit exploitatory of the current situation we're in. I am constantly baffled as to how Sacha Baron Cohen gets away with doing some of the things he does. Not sending these people up, but the content that he puts out there, it's a little bit like, I'm not sure actually being Jewish gives you the okay to do this much for this long, and because you're not changing people's opinions, you're not shining a light on people's prejudice, is not changing people's opinions. 2020 is what's happening right now is proof that shining a light on people's prejudices does not make them less prejudiced. It just makes more people think, oh, I could be prejudiced. And I kind of feel a little bit like a lot of people are going, this is the movie we need right now, and I'm there going, I really fucking don't think it is.
No.
So I'm going to stop talking now. But Kenneth West was brilliant. But then it ruined itself a few minutes later by one of his kids changing his name to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like, really? Is that the Epstein joke you got in there? I will stop talking now.
Bex, thoughts?
It's a weird one. I've not watched the original Borat movie, so I had no kind of basis for comparison. But yeah, it just feels a bit. A lot of it felt very fake, and like the people involved probably knew what was going on. So that kind of, like I say, I don't know in the original movie if it felt more legitimate, like he was like getting these people. But I know with the whole like Ali G thing, that the whole joke was supposed to be that they didn't know who he was. But it's 2020 and it's Sacha Baron Cohen. I can't see that people would just not know who he is, especially in the Borat costume. So it didn't feel quite as authentic as I think it was probably supposed to. I feel like I get what they were going for, but it didn't quite land it. But then there were certain bits that were quite, like the bit with the Republican women's group.
Yeah.
That felt kind of like, do you know what? It's a room full of Karens, but they're actually being quite nice.
Yeah. Don't agree with the principles. Don't agree with what is it.
Yeah.
Quite light.
That bit completely died on its arse. I'm amazed they even included that.
But if they included that, how many bits did they try? Where if you go and you prod at something and you prod at it enough times and you get a reaction, there's a little bit of, you can't then point at the reaction and go, look at the reaction I got off this. It's like, because you prodded it that many times.
But then the bit with the debutante ball,
that's just fucking mental.
but that felt really staged. Like when they were doing the dancing and stuff and the reactions. Like if someone was doing that at a dead ball, the reactions would have been much stronger. They would have taken her off the dance floor.
Yeah,
They're really quite staid kind of proceedings. They wouldn't have allowed that to go on for as long as it suggests that it does in the film.
It did feel a little bit like they were doing it because they knew they were going to be a Borat movie.
The bit where he was staying with those two guys, they obviously knew what was going on. Even from the footage when they actually were at the rally later on, they clearly knew what was going on. So I don't. The thing is, it's a however long it is movie built around that one section with Giuliani. That's their big thing, and I don't know whether we needed all of that built around that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a film that kind of feels like it was basically being fueled by the opportunities being presented to itself while it was being made, because the Corona stuff obviously like hit while they were filming the film, and it feels like the starting aim was let's have a Borat film out before the election. And the whole kind of like the gift to Mike Pence, and then Rudy Giuliani gets roped in. The Mike Pence thing kind of feels like, again, him dressing up as Donald Trump and interrupting the conference. It almost feels like, was that supposed to be the climax or something, that holy shit, Borat managed to get into a Republican convention, and instead it ends with the Rudy Giuliani thing because it's the most shocking. But yeah, it's. I mean, I laughed. I think I liked it the most out of the three of us, and I like you say, I'm kind of stunned he could get away with it. And I thought the girl who played his daughter, like, fair play, they found someone who can match him.
She's really good in it, to be fair.
Yeah. So and she like really. She really fucking has the assist with him throughout. But yeah, it is one of those films that it does feel like it's preaching to the converted. It's not going to convince anyone of anything other than their own beliefs, and so it is a little bit. What's the point? Like, who is going to watch Borat Subsequent Moviefilm and then go, oh shit, I've come out of my Trump fog, I'm going to vote Biden. When like the whole thing about Borat getting them to sing sing the song about basically killing the woman. It's the people who would not stand for that obviously wouldn't stand for that. The people who would stand for that will just make up some bullshit excuses about how it was edited.
Yeah.
So I had an entertaining time with it, but it is mental that Sacha Baron Cohen is getting talked about for a Best Actor Oscar nomination when it's, well, no, he's got the best balls of the year, but
for this,
yeah, straight up. It's a weak year. The trial of Chicago.
Wait, I thought you meant for
no,
Chicago 7.
And well, both of them. But
okay.
The thing is, so they with Trial of Chicago 7, they announced that all of them are going to be campaigning as supporting. So, that basically means that lead actor is Gary Oldman,
Matt Wahlberg.
Okay, Mark Wahlberg. Maybe Clooney for the Midnight Sky if it hits.
Delroy Lindo for The Five Bloods.
Delroy Lindo, Chadwick Boseman.
John David Washington.
Sorry?
John David Washington.
He won't get in. He won't get in for Best Actor.
What about Supernova?
Yeah, there you go. Supernova could hit. You know.
Honestly, if Jesus,
if he's nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars for this, I'm done with the Oscars. It loses all fucking legitimacy in my eyes.
I think I think it'd be unlikely after the absolute fucking lead balloon of when he tried to be Ali G at the Oscars ceremony a few years ago, and it literally the entire room seemed to be like,
"Who the fuck are you?
Fuck off."
Yeah.
If Biden wins, then I could see a nomination happening as fucking like a backslappy kind of thing. If he doesn't, then I think the Academy voters as a whole will probably be far too depressed to think about nominating him, and they're going to go all in on him for supporting for Trial of the Chicago 7 because they want to present a message.
Do you know what? If he gets nominated for Trial of Chicago 7, if he wins Trial of Chicago 7, that'd be great. I think it'd be well deserved. I just think that the problem is that I have with Sacha Baron Cohen is I don't think he's funny. I think he's a very good actor. I don't think he's funny. No. And he constantly goes back to a handful of characters he created in a time at the time where
more innocent time,
you know, where even at the time they were a little bit like, really, really, and I don't know, there's something that for some reason that just doesn't click with me for it. But I don't like this kind of comedy. If I want my stupid comedy out there,
you'll watch a fucking Pauly Shore movie.
Yeah, and I will be watching the new Pauly Shore movie Guest House at some point this week. But I don't know whether it seems a little bit like he's picking too much, and for too long. I don't find this satirical.
I think he thinks this is saying more than it actually is.
I don't get how he's getting to that. I find it annoying because it's because of the fact that, like I said, it will hit some people who will just see it as, oh, isn't Borat funny? And not even acknowledge the fact that you've got a guy who works in a hardware store going, I mean, yeah, you could probably kill 100 Jews with that.
Well, that's it. Yeah, there's a few bits in it that are quite kind of shocking. Like the bit where he's singing at the rally, and they're all fucking singing along with him about chopping up like the Arabs do or whatever it is, and it's like,
but even that, it feels like, hang on a minute, you're going for cheap laughs about a guy who actually got chopped up by Arabs, and it's not though. It's not fucking what he's claiming it is, and even I don't fucking believe that he is doing it for personal fucking gain, and it felt.
But that's the point I think he thinks.
But I don't think he does. I think he's just. I think he just knows he can get away with it. It's fucking. It was. I thought that bit was a little for me was a little bit like, nah, fuck off now. You've not gone too far. You're not shocking me. You're being disrespectful now. There's a limit. There's a limit where you can go to, where you're poking fun and you're prodding and you're prodding and you're prodding. Now you're not. You aren't shining a light on them.
Shining a light on yourself.
You're shining a light on yourself. It was too fucking much, and it was. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I think that's supposed to be the point, is that he's showing that these seemingly normal people have these kind of
cool.
This
he came up with a song,
well,
and he thought it was funny enough.
He thinks that's funny. That's my issue.
I don't think he thinks it's funny.
I think he does.
I think if he thought it was funny enough, the bit with the Jewish woman at the synagogue wouldn't have happened. Where there's that hard cut where interviews since have said that he went off and had a conversation with her about the actual nature of what they were filming.
I don't know. It's operating on a level that I don't agree with.
That's fair.
Okay, so I think that's probably Borat. I'm a mild.
I'm bring the inch down there.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I'm a mild, definitely not shit.
Oh shit! It's an absolute fucking piece of complete fucking garbage.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
A milder shit for me.
The more I think about it, the more
angry you are, right?
Yeah, I would love to sit down with Sacha Baron Cohen and just have a conversation with him and just sort of say why.
Do you not think if this is what your intention is, do you not think there's a better way of going about it?
No, why you're playing for laughs.
That's the issue, isn't it?
It's not. You're not shocked, going, "Oh my god, what is it?" You're playing it for laughs. You're laughing at these things, and I just think that some of it is shit that you shouldn't be fucking laughing at. And you're not raising awareness for it. You're making it a fucking punchline. And that doesn't shine a light on things. That makes people just laugh about it.
I think as a Jewish man as well, like, you'd think that he'd have more kind of, I don't know, odd.
Our audience, Paul. See how much I fucking disagree with Mark. I can't believe that Mark just tried to set the moral high ground on something.
Well done.
Yeah, I'm usually swimming around the fucking gutter. Borat 2, definitely not shit, 73%.
There you go.
Touching Cloth 13%, shit 7%, and Geostorm 7%.
Very few people agree with you, Mark.
Yep. Once again, Mike and managed to insult all of our audience.
You're allowed to have a different take on it.
Yep. Questions. Ethan M. Barr. Which Hollywood personality would you most like to see fooled by a Borat-like sketch?
I'd really, really want James Woods to be taken down in a way that means that he could just never be in public ever again.
Yeah, James Woods.
I don't think that can happen, not to James Woods, to anybody anymore.
A Borat type, it says.
Or at least just something just that he fucking embarrasses the shit out of himself for.
Yeah, because
I'll take that.
Piece of shit.
He's fucking like, wow, that guy. Yeah, there you go. Or John Voight for that matter.
There was a
I
thing.
don't think they need it though. They're doing it all themselves. That's the thing. Like now with all these people having like social media and all this like 24-hour media access, like there's no need for a Borat type because they just embarrass themselves.
James Woods is what happens when a very, very intelligent, because he is a very intelligent man. That's the batshit craziness of the whole James Woods thing. He is an incredibly intelligent man who essentially is a drug addict and an alcoholic, and it ruins their career, and then they need to be angry at somebody about it, but they're too arrogant to be angry at themselves about it, so they just fucking start spouting just an awful lot of shite. Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh wow. Okay.
Around on him, yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? You know, there's a whole. You're not fucking immune from it. You know, or Isla Fisher.
Judi Dench.
You get Judi Dench.
I'd like everyone to see what a piece of shit she really is.
I don't think she's that much of a piece of shit, Becky. She's not James Woods' piece of shit, is she?
I don't know. She's got that entitled boomer air about
But she's not James Woods or John Voight or Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid?
Yeah.
Is he a piece of shit as well?
Yeah, Dennis Quaid's come out and he's yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit Trumpy, isn't he?
He's gone very Trumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
Stacey Dash.
Spacey, but then I'd never have any chance of watching LA Confidential or fucking Usual Suspects again, would I?
He gets a little big joke in this as well, doesn't he, Kevin Spacey?
Yeah,
in
that is
Borat.
funny. It's funny.
That actually, that like 2 moments made me laugh. Rick J. Kidd. There have been remakes of a few Hitchcock films over the years, e.g. Psycho, Rear Window, and now Rebecca. Which one, if any, would you like to see remade next, and by whom?
I'm not hugely familiar with like that many Hitchcock movies because I'm not super keen on them, so I've not sought them out. I'd like to see a remake of The Birds done by somebody that's not abusive to their main actress.
Yeah, the Birds is literally the only one I'd say as well, to be fair.
Although I do want to watch that. Is it Vince Vaughn that's in the Psycho remake?
Yes.
I'd like to watch that again. Is there a remake of Rear Window?
I mean, like, not formally, but Disturbia is a fucking remake of Rear Window.
Yeah, but it's not. Rear Window is the one Hitchcock that I will, like, hard and fast say that is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
Frenzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hitchcock, late Hitchcock film where he kind of does a little bit of a giallo
quite like Frenzy.
Vibe thing with Frenzy. But I'm trying to think of who I'd want to direct it. Frenzy, it'd have to be somebody a little bit mad. You want somebody to go a little bit fucking with it. Try to think who could do it.
Can't be David Ayer, Mark.
I mean, a David Ayer Frenzy would be fucking good. Fuck, I'm trying to think of who could do it. Got to be somebody who has like a horror thrillery sort of vibe tinge to their movies, but it needs to be somebody who's a bit mental with it.
Yeah, see, because my Birds one, I was thinking Mike Flanagan doing the Birds would be great.
It would, but it'd be quite
That's
more
interesting. Yeah.
Somber affair, wouldn't it?
It would, but
Which not in a negative way.
just because he's nice to his cast, like whenever you see like behind the scenes stuff from Mike Flanagan films, he's nice to his people. And like because of obviously the shit that Tippi Hedren went through, is it Tippi Hedren? Yeah. On the Birds, I'd just like that.
I want to see David Fincher's Frenzy.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Fair play.
David Fincher's Frenzy. There we go.
Mike Flanagan's Birds and
Yeah.
David Fincher's Frenzy.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Did you just crunch?
I did just crunch, yes.
I think so. Right.
Right.
Mark stretched and made a weird crunching noise.
Oh, bloody hell, bud, you all right?
That happens all the time. I'm just kind of used to it now.
He's a crunchy man.
Nice. Right.
Basically falling apart.
Let's wrap this one up because we've been recording for a very long time and Mark and Becky probably need to go and have some fucking dinner. So,
yeah.
Coming up on next week's show, we got Robert Zemeckis' The Witches.
Yep.
And we're also going to, I think, review the Netflix original Holiday.
Yes!
Mark also wants you to watch the new Pauly Shore movie, Guest House. He wanted to suggest that as a review.
Hang on, what's it on?
I'll hook you up.
Oh, fucking hell. What? Oh, okay. Right, yeah. Ollie Dote, yeah. Alright, we'll also review the Pauly Shore film Guest House.
Becky, can I just put out, Becky, you just made it so you have to watch the Pauly Shore movie Guest House.
I'm going to have to watch it anyway.
I'll quickly give you the premise.
So you may as well drag Ian into it as well.
Exactly, yeah. Share the misery.
A newly engaged couple finds a home of their dreams, but it quickly becomes a nightmare when the previous owner's friend continuously squatting in their guest house. The husband soon grows close to the squatter, but it eventually leads to a turf war that ultimately ruins their house, marriage, and lives. Guess who plays the squatter?
Is it Pauly Shore,
It's
man?
indeed Pauly Shore.
Cool.
It also contains the acting talents of nobody else that anyone's heard of, apart from Billy Zane and Steve-O.
Oh God. We're in for a treat.
Can't wait.
Suggested it.
Only because I thought, oh, Mark and Ian can do that bit.
Why did you do it?
Well, Mark and Ian can do that bit.
No, you're fucking watching it as well. Great. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I wanna spend some time with you. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, just the two of us.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.